Hey everybody, Chad at Turner's Warehouse, and today we're going to talk about kitless or bespoke pen making and what tools you need to make each part. Now this is a video intended to be before you watch our actual making videos or our live streams, and we're going to kind of explain what you need and how it works. So first let's take a look at the pen. This is an M13 Cap and Body with an M10 section thread, an internal thread, and a Jowo nib. So you've got the cap, the body, and the nib section. Let's talk about the parts for each of those. So to make a cap, you're going to need a drill bit for this tap and die, which is a 31/64. You're going to need the M13 by 0.8 tap and die set. And then you're going to need an M13 by 0.8 mandrel. This is a Turner's mandrel, stainless steel. Then we'll move on to the body. Same thing here, you're going to need an M10 by 1 tap and die. First you will want to drill it with a 9mm drill. I did that backwards. And then you will need the M10 body mandrel to put it on the lathe. And we'll come back to that in just a sec. For the section, you're going to need a couple of things. You're going to use the M10 die for these external threads that go into the body here. For inside, where the nib goes, you will need a variety of drills. We got 4 different drills for different depths, and we can kind of cover that more later. But you will also need a tap that matches the threads for the nib. This is a Jowo 6 section. And then we've got our mandrel where we can hold the section for our external turning, or we can mount it on those M10 threads over here to do polishing and sanding on the front or the sides. Now let's talk a little bit about how each of these items are held. So when you have a drill bit, you will hold it in a drill chuck. I don't have one here. It's a standard tailstock drill chuck. Once you've drilled, you're going to tap. We like to use the niche system for tap and die holding. This is a Morse Taper 2. It goes in your tailstock, and then you have this precision slide to do your tapping, your threading, either way. Now to hold a tap, we're going to mount this tap holder, and you can put the tap right in. And we will cover all this in more depth in our actual making video. This allows you to hold the tap and slide it. So you're going to do that the same with your M10 and your section, exactly the same way. When you go to use a die, you will replace this with a die holder and the little tiny set screw. Should get a thumb screw on that. And your die will fit right in there. Whoops. We'll cover all the prep and stuff for that in the videos, but that's how you hold your die. The tailstock tap and die holder comes with 2 tap holders and 2 die holders. There's a 13/16 and a 1 inch. This small one, which I forget the name of it, and this is a 1/4 to 1/2. 2 optionals are the 1.5 inch die holder or the 1/2 to 3/4 tap holder. I like to use this one a lot because it's bigger and it's faster, where I don't have to unthread it as much, but it is an optional piece. Now, when you're getting ready to do your external threads, in order to prep this for your die, you're going to want to cut a tenon. You can cut a tenon by hand. We use a tenon cutter. This is a Heinz tenon cutter, and it comes with all these different setup bushings. So you've got 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and then 10 and 9 for the bodies. How this would work is whatever tenon you need, say I need an M13 for this M13 body, I would slide the bushing on, set my cutter up to the setup bushing, and I have a perfect way to cut my tenon. Now I'm going to go into depth of the tenon cutter when we make it, but this is just the tool we use to cut the tenon. When we are ready to mount these to the lathe and turn and polish, these mandrels have standard shafts. This is a 5/8. We like to use a 5/8 collet, in a collet chuck because it's a precision way to hold it. You don't have to use a collet chuck, but this is the best way and the way I recommend. You would do the same for your smaller 1/2 collet. You would mount it in the collet in your collet chuck. So for the ease of everyone, I am making a little flow chart here on how all these work together, what holds what, and what size drill bit you will need to create this size of pen. It will change if you do a different size pen. So this is specific to the M13 Cap and Body with the M10 section and internal body thread and the Jowo 6 nib. So that's what this is specifically for. So if you want this, we'll have them available. This, again, is just a preface to our other videos where we will actually use these, but I wanted to give you a foundation of what the tools are and what they're used for.